Hello dear viewer, I'm LeeSuss and welcome to the Book of Demons, a game that I've been messing around with for a while. I had a lot of fun with. I've recently completed it with this fellow here, this warrior class, because it's a dungeon crawler and a kind of a fun one, and not especially difficult, but it's very enjoyable, and it's got a lot of interesting and unique flexibility about it that I particularly like. So I thought, why not record it with you guys and you can see what I'm going on about. Now, I'm not going to do it with Odin because I've now got free play. I haven't done this with the warrior. The warrior's okay. It's like a melee character, you know. A lot of the powers are much like close combat, control by shockwave to you know knock enemies away and to tank a lot of damage is generally how it works. But we've got two other classes that I've unlocked I've not tested. We have the rogue, who appears to be a missile unit, and we have the wizard, the mage. I don't know. Now, I've got some ideas about how these two might work through secret information, but we're just going to play them and see how they actually play, see if they're easier or harder than the warrior. So I think we're going to go with the mage for now. A powerful mystic, proficient in all kinds of magic, wearing a robe. He lives direct face-to-face combat to his summoned minions. Yeah, I thought that might be the case. He's a summoner, which I kind of like. This game is going to be very... You can't help but compare it to games like Diablo, Torchlight, Grim Dawn and the rest. It's very similar. And there's lots of things about it that are very similar. And I've always liked summoning type characters in the past as well. So this could be quite good. We've got to... It brings us devastation from a safe distance, which is how you kind of play the warrior anyway. You do some close-up stuff, but it's not quite as close-up as it could be. You'll see what I mean when we get in there. Book of Ice, Hourglass, and Golem. So I presume summoning golems, pausing time. Oh, there you go, slowing time. Bushes. This is a very well-made game. I'd like to say that it's got a lot of good features in there. Like the tooltip's just popping up like this. Bushes spells with ice magic, slowing and freezing your opponent, so you're preventing them from getting to you very quickly, which is good. We're not going to call him Malenhor or Nakana or anything else, though. Regulars will probably know that I like certain names for characters, and Big Poultry's kind of common one that I use in a lot of places. You can let me use that. Sometimes despite the fact this is just a short name for Richard, sometimes games don't like it. It seems fine. Okay. This is where we start to see the flexibility of the game. I beat it on normal already. It's not, so you might first assume from my description it's going to be a roguelike. It's not. It doesn't have to be. Anyway, casual is here. So a new dungeon crawler. This game is clearly designed for being able to be used on iOS as well as PC as well. And this is a nice feature, I think, for inexperienced people or for younger people. It'd be quite a good one. I played it on normal, didn't have too much trouble, but because the warrior is just an easier one from there. Can get challenging to make it. The last part was pretty challenging, but most of it was okay. First to death leaderboard. I've not actually died, funnily enough, which is obviously because I'm super awesome, but also because maybe the game is too hard. Speedrun to cook leaderboard. I don't know what that means. Doesn't matter. And then roguelike itself. Totally. So what does it say about cards dropping from here? Yeah, there is drop. The cards are the equipment and the spells that you use. They do drop in a random order anyway. Totally versus random. I don't know. The only thing I can see here about this is certain cards will only drop based upon your level. So you're going to use them when you get to certain levels. So maybe you'll drop cards in this one where you can't use them yet, which would be pretty nasty. Limited healing, fountains don't refill, amulets don't work outside camera. Interesting, that would make this much harder. Ooh, I'm not going to play this, but it's something for me to play on my own. I think I'd struggle too much maybe in this one, and it wouldn't be so satisfying to show you all the features. Resurrection and healing costs incredible amount. Okay, yeah. And I what super hot mode means. It's going to tell me though, because that's how good the game is. Time moves only when you move. that could be quite nice. That would actually make things easier, I think. It would be good for the roguelike. Yeah, because time... Okay, let's not worry about it. Let's go in here. How much are you going to tell me, Gam? How much are you going to start me off with? Okay, it is a completely new start. I was worried that the progress I'd made from the previous game was going to carry over. It looks like it hasn't, though. Oh my god, only 5 health. Wow. Okay, so this is kind of common. You're used to this, aren't you? From these sort of games like Diablo and the rest. We've got a red sphere, which is our health. 5's not very much. 10 is what we had with the warrior, I think. And then 10 mana, which is for casting spells, but also is to do with the cards that you have as well. We have no cards down here, no equipment whatsoever. I guess apart from the standard ones we've got anyway. And we've got a lovely barmaid and a creepy... This is where the adventure starts. What are you going to say for your old barmaid?
Really you? I'm so happy to see you after all this time.
We're back, are we?
It seems like it's been ages since you left our town. I just wish we weren't meeting under such dire circumstances.
Demonic presence.
Back then, it was peaceful.
Talk to the sage. Okay, so we haven't got many people so far. There's 4 people in town that turn up. There's not very many. So the main thing that the barmaid does is gossip. Just repeats what's going on here, I think. Yeah, you can look through the text that she gives you.
Missed me already?
Her ability is, as we go through the dungeon, we will pick up items that aren't direct effect items. They're like resources and ingredients and that sort of thing. When we come back to town, which we can do at the end of each section, or we can sometimes come back earlier, you chuck that into the magic cauldron, and then you pay some money to get the output from the magic cauldron, which is experience and money and various other things like that, and cards and other things like that. And there's the usual risk reward of this, that if you die in this mode, you don't die permanently. It's not a permadeath, but you do lose the items you've been collecting. However, the longer you wait before buying out of the cauldron, the better the stuff is that you get, the better the rewards. Usual risk reward stuff, and you can push this quite far to some really good items coming out of here. What's the other thing I was going to say about this? Oh, but the other thing is, every time you go into the cauldron, it costs more money every time to get the ingredients out. We don't have to worry about it yet, though, because we don't... Oh, he's here. Okay, we don't have to have anything like that yet. Here's the sage.
Your arrival brings hope to my old heart.
I'm so happy about that.
There's no better way to forge one's skill than by traveling. I should know.
Bishop's vanished.
I beg you not to leave. We need you here. Dark things lurk in the...
Okay, so his main ability... Well, he's got 2 main abilities. One is to identify cards. So we will find cards, stay and listen for a while. Is that a reference to Diablo or something else? I'm not sure. Anyway. Identify cards, which we will find mystery cards occasionally in the dungeon, including legendary items, which can be obviously very good by their term. And the other thing is we can unlock card slots, which gets more and more expensive, so we can carry more and more equipment. Anyone else turn up? No one else turns up so far. We've now got to go in and do this. What cards have we got? Nothing. Are you going to test what equipment is? Okay, I'm glad the game is leading us in gently. Over here we have our stats. And this is more familiar for a lot of games, you know, the really detailed levels of what's in there. What do these mean? It's more than clan. I don't even know what that means. Sneaking? Auto attack range? What? Number of fake entries on this list. What? Okay. Run to cook? Oh, how quickly you get to the cook. Oh, I see. That's a speed run. So the cook is the first boss you come to. Well, that's fine. Don't worry about that. Cards left on your corpse. I haven't died yet, so I don't know how that works. Counterfeit money? Chance to get diarrhea from drinking from a fountain. Amount of crap collected. There's a certain level of humour in this game. I like a lot of it. Childhood dreams crushed. Okay, fine. Let's just get in here. Now I've been distracted by stuff. Okay, so here's a typical level. Gotta get to the cook. Okay, and down to here is to get to the demon. The archdemon we're going to go to the end. And in theory, I think... There's the anti-pope. Don't get him in the same room as the Pope. It'll be a turbo explosion. Why have you got a duck? I don't understand why you've got a duck. There we go. Here's a duck with a spike collar. In theory, you could play all to the end in almost one session. But for now, we have 2 levels. Now, this changes later. But they lead us in gently. But, you know, the levels aren't always this short. Here we go. By the way, I didn't mention it before, but there's a nice paper character feeling to this, and I like games with paper characters in them, you know, cardboard cutouts. You could probably see that from the warrior character at the start. So here we are, completely random dungeon. Almost all dungeons are random, except for a couple of the key ones, like I think the ones unlocking the area into the boss and the boss's area I think are fixed, but the others are pretty random. Mage's missiles are guided and will avoid monsters on their way to the target. Okay. I guess you can focus particular ones, can't you? Use right mouse button to shoot freely or use special missiles.
The dead seem to be particularly lively today.
Okay, so we can just move by clicking, and we can use the keyboard as well, which is kind of nice. He fires quite quickly. Okay, now, what I said about the warrior being a melee character, although he attacks in hand-to-hand combat, he could still attack from this sort of distance. So I'm holding myself in position here, I'm not moving forward. He could hit about this far. So, in theory, he wasn't that short a range, and you can pick up abilities that extend the range that you can hit from. So it wasn't too terrible. So I think I'm going to run this character exactly the same way that we do the warrior, at the moment at least, in that we're going to keep things away with us, and we're going to retreat as much as possible. And I noticed I couldn't hit that pot until it got a bit closer, because we're out of range. See, we've got it in our sort of torchlight where we need to be. We need to hit all the pots. Not everything's destructible in the dungeon. Those torches, for example, are not destructible. Where's our first monster? Probably skellies in here, I think. It's mostly undead in here. Here we go. And notice I'm not hitting every single time. There is a chance to hit for each creature, and you can improve that, and some creatures are much harder to hit. We're doing okay. We're just learning the ability of moving around right now. There's a treasure chest. Notice in the top middle of the screen up here, it tells us that there's what main points of interest there are in the dungeon every time. We want to try and get them all, break all the pots, kill all the monsters, and get everything else. What is this? It's our first spell. A new kind of fireball. Number of missiles 10, so multiple flaming missiles. Missile damage 2. Shatters frozen hearts. Certain creatures have frozen hearts. There's lots of. As we go through the game, we'll learn new mechanics and new abilities of the creatures, and Frozen Hearts is one of them. So they can take a lot longer to hit and break, but this will do it. Just a spark fire one hit. That means fire on the ground. The creatures can then wander through. Shockwave damage is a pushback. Knocks target back. Nice. We'll equip it. Now, we have mana over here. Casting spells cost blue mana. There are many ways to replace it. We don't automatically get our mana back. In a lot of games, your health regenerates over time, and so does your mana. Not in this game. It's not how it works. Well, you can get equipment that will do it, but we don't get it immediately. Also, there's another bonus effect of mana. Well, probably a negative effect. First of all, this is a spell. Okay, so to equip equipment, like, I don't know, a shield or something, costs you mana. Funnily enough, it draws away from your mana. So if I found an item now that cost 11 mana, equipment to install, I couldn't use it because I've only got 10 mana. And if I put in, say, like a 4 mana item, I only have 6 mana left to actually spend. So equipment will draw this. So I'm expecting. Are you right there, buddy? I'm sorry. I'm. Bonus points for recognising that. Sorry, this game. I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to model. I'm monologuing to the viewer. Please don't, Mr. Wizard. Anyway, so that's the point. If I equip a lot of equipment, I won't be able to use many spells, and I'm expecting I'll mostly find spells for the wizard. I don't think I'm going to find the same spells, the same the same things for the same items for the wizard as I will for the warrior. Anyway, here's a pool. So this you can drink and it recharges over time and it gives you health back. Funnily enough, not very surprising. Oh, they're auto targeting towards the warrior, to the enemies. It's kind of nice. Now, obviously there's some more things to fight here. That's going to get from pop as well. New gossip in town. That's just about the monsters. What I want to find, I want to have a special noise happening. Notice up here, we've got 5 more things to find.
Well, the sanctity of this place has been fouled.
I'm sorry about that. I'm very nervous. We've got barrel and some skeleton warriors and some gold to find. And we want to get everything. We've got up a level! We'll deal with that in a minute. Let's clear these out first. Where's that barrel? Over there. That noise means we've got everything in the level. And we can auto leave. Now, we went up a level, didn't we? So there's 2 choices here. We level up, and we can have more health or more magic. Now, it may seem like a bit of a worrying choice right now. That I'm going to have one or the other. What do I know is the best choice? I'm going to pick mana, pick health because I'm a bit weak, but also because notice it went into the cauldron. So when we go and submit things to the court to go out to the barmaid and pay for the cauldron, we will claim any mana or health bonuses we put in there as well. So we've not lost that mana upgrade. We still have it. We just need to pay for it to get it. Okay, that's nice, isn't it? It's a nice feature. Here we go. Second dungeon. Let's get this done. Wander around. And what we're really worrying about, of course, is the really nasty monsters. Oh, there's a zombie. That's what zombies do. Green hearts there. Now, this is an item we can pick up, which is symbolised up here. A book.
Just what I was looking for.
We've gained a health potion. Okay, now, notice the one here, the one charge on here. It's not actually equipment that's taken away from our thing. Some equipment does, health potions do not. But it does have a limited number of charges. And we can find charges on the floor by killing enemies. And we can buy them in town. We can have 1 of 4 in there as well. Oh, we've got a health bonus. Yeah, nice. And of course that level up that we got earlier for skill. Uh-oh, we've got a boss. Crypto Verde. Okay, now 1 second. Let me finish this point here. So, what was I thinking of? No, never mind. Let's talk about the boss instead. So the bosses, you can see up here, just in the shadow back here, they've got 3 things that they do, and every time we do enough damage, they'll move between the different power-ups. And these are completely random with the bosses. They can have a huge string of different powers and stages, or just a couple. This is a fairly standard one from here. This first one, the bag, I'm not sure what that does, I can't remember. This one's going to be summoning monsters, and then we've got a mystery up here. So what we want to do is focus on the enemies and then deal with the appropriate things that come out as we go. And we want to stay well away from them as well. So he's got a zombie there. Okay, let's give him a few dings. Is he poisoned? He has gotten poisoned. Now, he's gone between... So, first of all, not every creature is sort of poison, but we were able to use that in this case to poison him for a while. Also, as they go between stages, notice he's immune right now. And we'll see what he does. There you go, he's summoned some creatures. He's summoned in some more zombies. You fool! Because that would have poisoned you more. A very easy mini-boss to start with. But that's fine. We get poisoned later, we'll deal with it then. I'll show you what's going on. We've got the stairs going down. It's too soon to use them. The other thing is, notice these footprints. This is part of the game showing you what's going on here. Notice all gold footprints over there. That's because there's nothing more to find. We've been this way, there's nothing more to find that way. Whereas briefly we had grey footprints which said we can go back that way and find more stuff. And we know we've got more stuff. There's an undiscovered prize. Zombies, bugger off. We're not even going to use any power-ups on you now. Yeah, I did think about using the special power on that boss, but it didn't really need to. It was a very weak boss. I've got an extra mana, and we've got a level clear. So it's all going fine so far. It's all being very gentle with us so far, and we don't have to walk to the exit. We can just press that to get out of here. Now we can go back to town. And there's 2 events in town. We can go to the barmaid or visit the fortune teller. Before we do that, we have more avatars, which is the face from there. Didn't even die once. You've swept all levels clean. You killed every last one of them. Kill everyone! Fucking last one of them. Sorry. We can visit town. Why not, eh? We don't have to. We've got a new character. We've got the fortune teller. Okay, but let's investigate the fortune teller next episode. Yeah? How are you liking it so far? It's very, very straightforward, isn't it? It's a nice game. It will get more complicated. Do I remember how to do this? There was a tune we could play with these. Never mind. Yeah, it's a very straightforward game, and I've enjoyed it a great deal. I found it very good. We'll see later how we can control the size of the levels each time, and it's a great game for like playing a brief session of something. You know, you've got a few minutes to go and have a play a game. This is a great one for that. You can control how long the levels are and have a bit of fun, and then come back to it later and make progress. But we'll see how we go on with this. I think there's obviously a long way to go to take the wizard all the way to the end. I probably will show you bits of each level, but maybe not the entire game. I don't know. We'll see from later. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourself. And I'll see you again